So the lights are turned down low, and the night is here for us.
Hey guys, what is up? It is Gianna. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my step-by-step tutorial on how to slay any eyeshadow look. This is the steps I take to literally do any eyeshadow look I do. And this video is for anybody who is struggling with eyeshadow, who is a beginner for eyeshadows, who are just wanting to learn more about eyeshadow, or is just a subscriber, or just, you know, landed on this video and you're just watching. Thank you. I really hope you guys learned something out of this video. This is the final eyeshadow look that I'm going to show you guys how I did today. Let's get right on into this. Alright guys, so we're just gonna get right on into this. We are really close. I'm sorry. See all my little nooks and crannies. I'm sorry about that. So I just have my base down and I'm just gonna go straight into the eyes. Okay, so the first step is to always prime your eyes, especially you want to keep it on all day long. You really do want to prime. Here are a couple of primers that I love. I really like the Urban Decay ones, the anti-aging or the original. I got these on sale on Sephora.com for $8. So I don't know if they're still that price, but these are actually really good. And if you want like a nice white base for your colorful eyeshadow to make it more vibrant, I recommend, you know, like a white base. Like I have this NYX eyeshadow base. I really like this one, so I'm just gonna put this on my eyes first. I'm just gonna use my fingers because why not? We have them for a reason, am I right? Alright, so the next step is to set the base with a powder. All of the eyeshadows that we will put on in the future blend out a lot smoother because this is just a tacky, more of like a moist feeling, and you don't want that because that's gonna make the eyeshadow stick onto this and not blend evenly and stuff. Almost all palettes have a nice base shade, so if you are looking for like a palette, I recommend the Tarte Bloom, especially if you're a beginner. One of my favorite bases are definitely the Jeffree Star China White because it's like super opaque, super pigmented. So you just want to take a nice big brush and just set that lid from all the way to the brow bone to the lid. Alright, so after you have the base on, you might look like a little bit weird, but don't worry, because like, as you can see, like my eyes really canceled out white. Now, you probably heard this term all over the internet. It's called the transition shade. I think the transition color is very important for your eye look, so it adds a nice gradient, so when you put all the darker eyeshadows onto your eyes, it can all blend evenly, and it could be like a nice ombre or a gradient, and it's good. The Tarte Bloom, if you like cool tone looks, these would definitely be good transition shades. This could be a good transition shade for like a pink look. These are all too dark for transition shades because that will just make you look like a raccoon ASAP. Also, one of my favorite transition shades is Courtney by Jeffree Star Cosmetics in the Beauty Killer palette. It's just a perfect shade. Always want to start off with the transition shade because this is my favorite transition shade. I'm just going to go in with this, and you want a fluffy brush, and it doesn't need to be too densely packed like a flat brush or like a very small brush. You want it nice and fluffy so we can have that nice, you know, fluffed out effect. Right, Lily? Yeah, I know. You do not want to blend your eyeshadow all the way up to the brow bone. You want to keep it right at the crease. So you always want to just keep on adding until your desired opacity. When you're holding your brush with your fluffy brush, you want to hold at the end instead of here because you're going to have like a lot of control here and you don't want that. So you want to stay on the end so you can have that, I don't know, just like it's more free. Now you just want to go into the crease shade. I don't want it to be too dark. I don't want it to be too light. You just want to make it right in the middle. Crease shade, I'm going to go with the 35O because as you can see, this is a lot darker than my transition shade. So I'm just going to go in with a smaller fluffy brush that looks kind of like this. This is the M514 brush. And I am going to be taking that shade, tapping out the excess, and just keeping it in more of the outer corner and the outer crease. Okay, so after you're done with putting in that crease shade, you want to go back in with your transition shade and just blend it all out to make sure everything is seamless before you go in to your darker shades. So I'm going to go back in with Courtney, taking this Wet n Wild crease brush, and I am just going to blend that all together. Okay, so after you're done with that, it should look something like this. So now we want to go into your darker shades. I'm going to go into, So I'm going to go in with this shade as my more darker color, and if I want to make it a little bit more darker, I'll go in to another shade. But right now, I'm going to go into that one. The brush I'm using is the Morphe M507. It's still a fluffy but tapered brush, and I just want to keep that in the outer corner. So I'm going to take this one. It's called Rebel. Pack it on there if you want, and then just start blending. As you can see, that added a lot of definition to the eye look, and that's exactly what you want. Like I said before, I'm going to go back into my transition shade. You want to just keep on blending till it's perfectly seamless, because as you can see, this is not really that seamless. So I'm going to go back in with that transition shade and just blend it. Alright, so after I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a darker shade. So you want to have that nice gradient, same exact brush, and keep that in the outer corner. I'm using from the Tarte Bloom palette, Leader. So take that, tap off the excess. Every time you take a darker color, you always want to tap off the excess because you don't want too much product, you just want to keep on building. All the shades that I have done, you always want to keep those matte because this is really scientific, I know, but if you use a shimmery shade in your crease, you're trying to make definition in your crease, right? But shimmery shades, they reflect light, and you don't want that. You want to have that definition, that shadow, and that's what matte eyeshadows do. So I really recommend to not use shimmery eyeshadows in the crease because it just makes it have reflected light and just doesn't look great at all. So just make sure to never use that shimmery shades. You always just want to keep the shimmery shades on the lid. Go back in with that transition shade and blend it all out. So if you want to add a darker shade, you can just do the same steps as you did with that outer corner and just keep on adding, but you always want to keep it in that outer corner. So it should be something like this. It should be very blended and perfect. The next step is to have a lid shade. Now you could use a shimmery shade because it just makes it poppin'. So, oh, my favorite eyeshadow, you guys see me use this all the time in every single video almost, is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in Amber Rush. Oh God. I'm gonna take this with a flat synthetic brush, I don't know, and you just want to put that on the lid. You don't want it in the crease. You want to just keep it right below the crease. As you can see, that added a lot of pop to the look compared to this eye to this one. It just makes it look a lot more amazing. Okay, so the next step, I know, so many steps, a brow bone highlight. Any light shade, like a base shade maybe if you want. You can pretty much do anything like that. My favorite is definitely more of like a shimmery shade. Shimmery shade right here. I'm just gonna put that in the inner corner as well. When you put the inner corner, it makes your eyes more awake. That's why I love it so much. Like, it's amazing. This very, very small brush. This is the E35? Yeah, E35. You can even use a highlight for this. And I'm just gonna do the inner corner now. You can just see what I'm doing here. That makes just a big difference. Okay, so after you have that, the last step, I know the last step you need to do, well, you don't have to do, I'm recommending it to you, obviously, is to do the lower lash line, because you have all this nice smokage out in the eye. You don't want any, like, there's nothing here, like, it makes it super plain. So you're just gonna go back in with your transition shade first using this type of brush, this like flat definer brush. This is the Wet n Wild one. After you're done putting your transition shade, you could go into your more defined shade, but don't get it all the way into the inner corner. Keep it on the outer corner. Alright guys, I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my face makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoy. And I really hope this helped a lot of you guys out there that have been struggling with eyeshadow. And if you're beginners, I really hope you guys learned something from this video. I'm sorry if I can't explain things well. It's just, I don't know. But I really hope you guys got something out of this video. And if you want me to do more videos like these, comment down below what I should do next, because I love informing you guys on like makeup stuff. I don't know. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below if you have not already. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.